Well, you're listening to Kirsten's Midday Show here on WTIF. You guys know every Friday I do a weekly artist spotlight, and usually it's a local artist. But right now I am so excited because I have Tifton, Georgia native and MCA Records recording artist Kip Moore doing an interview with me. Kip, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad your world's going good.
Yeah, well, thank you. And you're actually in the bus right now headed up to Canada, right?
Yeah, I am. We're doing a northeast run through Canada and New York and Buffalo. So we're going to be up here where it's still a little bit chilly.
Right, and you're actually on the road right now with Billy Currington and David Nail?
Yeah, we're all doing a tour together right now, and I'm kind of headlining some clubs around those dates. But every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, me and Billy Currington are on the road together.
That's awesome. I'm sure that's a great experience.
Yeah, it's a good time.
You grew up right here in Tifton, Georgia. You went to high school here. What was it like growing up here for you?
You know, I love Tifton. I have a lot more appreciation for Tifton now.
Right.
I think as a kid, I think I felt kind of strapped. I was always a big, wide-eyed dreamer, and I had a lot of big ideas. And I think a lot of times in a small town, I felt confined a little bit. I was always dreaming of getting out and doing things, but I look back and I have so many great memories in that town. It was a town where you kind of had to make your own fun.
Right.
Just like the something about a truck song. That's how it came, because that's what it was. We sneak out, we find peanut fields, and we let the tailgates down, and whoever was going to buy the beer and that kind of thing. I mean, that was life in Tifton. I was always thinking about getting out, and now I just have such an appreciation when I go back. I can completely decompress, and I see old faces that I remember, and a lot of good people in that town.
Right, and now I had several, since they found out that you were going to be on the show, everybody said, be sure to ask Kip about the 96 state championship basketball win.
Oh, man, that was an amazing team. That was a hard road, and I think that I learned a lot through those times. Coach Blackshear demanded so much out of you, and the work ethic was, I think it started, in that Tift County gym, and I think that transferred over to how I am now in music.
Right.
I never stop. I'm kind of relentless about everything that I do, but those are special times for me. I still keep in touch with a lot of those guys, and we had a special season.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it. Now, a lot of people around here can relate to this. When you're starting out, playing in the bars, doing everything around here, that's what you did, right? You had your very first show at Mellow Mushroom down in Valdosta, Georgia. Yeah,
that's the first time I played, and I probably played every single bar in Valdosta and some other clubs in South Georgia. And that's where you learn to cut your teeth, and that's where you learn to hopefully work a crowd, and that's where you learn to drink beer.
Right.
Playing in those kind of environments, but I had a great education with music growing up in South Georgia.
And speaking of your education, your dad was a golf pro at Spring Hill, and he was actually good friends with my grandpa, Donald Underwood. They played golf together all the time. And you went to school at Valdosta State on a golf scholarship.
I did. I was playing basketball up in around Birmingham at Wallace State. And then I made the switch and played golf down in Valdosta State for about a year and a half. But music just took over. I was playing too much on the weekends, and I ended up telling the coach that my desire wasn't to play golf, and all I wanted to do was play music. And that's all I did.
Right. And after college, now this is really interesting to me. You moved to Hawaii, and tell me what you took with you.
I took my surfboard and a backpack. That was it. I lived in a little 5 by 11 foot hut, lanai kind of thing. It was a concrete slab with a screen around it, and it was attached. You could open the door, and it had like a little bathroom and sink, but that wasn't mine. That was somebody else's. But they would let me use it. But the little living area that I lived in was 5 by 11 foot, and just had a little tin roof over the top of it.
And it was $50 a month, right?
$50 a month, and me and my buddy P.J. Brown lived in it, and it was pretty crammed with our surfboard and our backpacks in there, and we would just backpack and hitchhike all over the island and surf different spots and camp out everywhere and work odd jobs, and that was my life for a long time out there.
Sounds like a pretty cool life. Sounds like a lot of fun.
It was fun. I don't think I wore a shirt for about half a year.
Hawaii is really where you got your love for writing songs.
Yeah, I think that that's where it, I've been doing it before that, but that's when the love of, that's when I just really fell in love with doing that part of it. And before that, it was all about performing, but that's where I began to really just love to write, yes.
And you moved to Nashville in 2004. You started working real hard, getting a big fan base, and you got hooked up with Brett James. And he's probably one of the biggest. He works with all the heavy hitters up there in Nashville.
Yeah, I mean, he's written a lot of big songs. Brett's been the Songwriter of the Year probably 3 times. But the beauty about Brett is that Brett saw something special in my writing, and he allowed me to be me. He and gave me time throughout the years to find my voice as an artist and as a writer. He didn't try to throw me in a room with a bunch of big writers, and he didn't try to force his writing on me. He let me find my own style, which I'll forever be grateful to Brett for.
Well, right now I'm going to play the current single off of Kip Moore's album, Up All Night. It is called Something About a Truck. It is doing amazingly well on the country charts. And coming up right after the break, Kip is going to talk to us about Mary was the marrying kind, and we're going to find out the real story about Mary. So stay tuned right here to Kirsten's Midday Show on WTIF. Welcome back to Kirsten's Midday Show here on WTIF. It is my weekly artist spotlight, and right now I have Tifton native and MCA recording artist. I am so excited. Kip Moore on the show with me now. Your first single was Mary Was the Marrying Kind, and I know this is your hometown that's going to be listening to this, and you don't have to say any names, but can you tell me the story behind that song?
Yeah, Mary was a girl that I went to Tift County with. I'll never say her name, but I went to Tift County with her, and she just kind of slipped through the cracks. One of those girls that nobody really paid attention to, including myself. She was always nice, and she was always kind of mild and meek, and real tall. Had yet to grow into her, her figure. And the years went by, and I ran back into her when I came home for Thanksgiving at a party, and I probably hadn't seen her in 5 or 6 years, and she was breathtaking and smart and had a great job and funny and charming and all those things. And that's kind of how the song came about. It wasn't necessarily exactly her. It was just in the room that day. We were all talking about those girls that that you didn't pay attention to, that whole kind of thing.
So that's a lesson to all you guys out there listening, right?
Exactly, man. Don't be stupid like me.
Well, I saw you last year at CMA Music Festival, and I've always heard of you coming from Tifton and growing up here and everybody talking about Kip Moore. But I actually saw you. My dad and my grandma went with me, and I try to go every year. I love CMA Fest. If you remember, I had the sign that said, Tifton loves Kip Moore. Were you expecting?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Were you expecting to see somebody from Tifton there?
No, I was not. I was pretty shocked, to be honest. I was playing in San Antonio the other night, and there was 2 people from Tifton, which was pretty wild.
That's crazy. Yeah, and I can remember sitting next to these people, and you had a great crowd there watching you. You were playing at the Lay stage, and these people sitting beside us, I think they were from Ohio or somewhere off, and they said, oh, yeah, we saw Kip, and he's one of the reasons why we came to CMA Fest was to see Kip Moore. And I thought that was incredible that you've had that much of an impact already, and you're just now starting out really big in country music.
It's pretty neat. We're doing these shows, and there's people that are coming, in carloads from 10 and 15 hours away to see a 30-minute set. It's pretty wild.
That has to be a great feeling. Now tell me about Something About a Truck. Pretty
wild. It actually reached gold last week.
Okay.
It's almost at 600,000 now.
Wow.
It's pretty nuts what's happened. I don't even know how to put it into words. It's not something that I expected. I'm pretty humbled by the whole thing, but I'll take it. I mean, it's the record's not even out yet, and the single's gold, so I'm pretty stoked about this whole thing. That's
right. That's looking pretty good for you. Now, tell me the story behind the song. I know it has something to do with an Isuzu, right?
Yeah. I mean, I had a little Isuzu in high school that got passed down to me from both my brothers, and by the time I got it, I think it had maybe 2 hubcaps and about 300,000 miles on it, and was far from a chick magnet. And I've been hanging out with this girl a little bit, and she just didn't seem really excited about this Isuzu. And on one of the occasions when it broke down, my dad said, take my truck. And it was like I picked up a whole nother woman. All of a sudden, she was all about me, and I kind of laughed when I got home, and I threw my dad the keys, and I said, damn, Pop, there's something about a truck.
Yep.
And I was telling that story that day to my co-writer, Dan Couch, and that's why we wrote that song.
So how many girls have come up to you now in red sundresses at your shows?
It's wild. It's everywhere. Everywhere. They're all,
sure.
And I think they're all realizing that I'm pulling somebody up on stage every night, so they're really showing up in them.
Okay. All right, so girls, if you see Kip coming out, be sure to wear that red sundress.
Wear the red sundress.
Well, Kip, Something About a Truck has finally broken the top 10 on the Billboard country charts. How does that feel?
Yeah, I was pretty excited about it. It finally cracked it on the media base and Billboard.
That's awesome. And you have a new video out that is really great. It's real simple, and it's all about you and playing the song. It's called Hey Pretty Girl.
Realizing that where I'm at in life, I've let a lot of good people get away, and I've kept a lot of people at arm's length because I haven't been ready for that place in my life. But that particular day, I was just kind of in the mindset of writing kind of from an idealistic standpoint of kind of how I hope for it to be when I'm ready to settle down.
That's awesome. And you have your debut album is coming out on next Tuesday. You have to be excited about this.
Yeah, I mean, I've been working on this record for 9 years.
Wow.
So, that's 9 years says it all. I mean, I put every ounce of my soul and heart into this thing, and I'm scared, I'm anxious, I'm excited. I'm about 1 million different emotions in one, and I'm just hoping that everybody goes out and gets it.
Yeah, I've been talking about it. Me and Kyle Dean, who's the morning show host here at WTIF, we're talking about it every day and saying, you've got to go out and support it.
I'm hoping they support it, yeah.
Yeah, I think they definitely will. We've got a great response. Now, it's actually called Up All Night. And tell me where you got the title from.
The Up All Night song originally, when you hear it, it's more about, never letting your soul die, seizing the moment, and staying young at heart. And but for me, it's taken on different meanings because I was up all night, literally every night, writing this record, and I was in a lot of dark places when I was writing it, and I was really vulnerable with myself. But I feel like, me being up all night and listening to studying the old records and then finding my own riffs at 4 and 5 in the morning, that was why this record even came to life. So, it's got several different meanings for me.
You've gotten so many great reviews from all different kinds of magazines, and Music Row magazine said you were the hillbilly Springsteen, and you're a big fan of Bruce Springsteen, right?
Yeah, I love Bruce. I don't even know really how to take that. That's a humbling thing, but, the way I see it is I haven't done anything in this business yet, and I have a lot to prove. I'm grateful and I'm humbled, but I got a lot to prove.
A dream of mine has always been performing at the Grand Ole Opry, and you've gotten to do that. What is it like standing on that circle, on that stage?
Oh, man, that's the only place that makes me nervous.
Really?
That's the only stage that makes me nervous. It's almost like you can feel the ghost around you, and it's almost like you can feel them, with a lot of expectations, being like, you better not let us down.
Right.
And it's eerie quiet up there, and you feel very alone up there. But I love it. I love playing there, and it's the mother church of music.
That it definitely is. Now, we have some fun questions. Some of your fans from Tifton have asked me to ask you some of these. Now, what is probably the most played song on your iPod, and what's your favorite song in general?
Sunday Morning Coming Down, Chris Christopherson.
Wow, okay. That'd be probably both your favorite song and favorite song on your iPod?
On my iPod, it's been played the most, probably that one, and my favorite song will probably be Thunder Road, Bruce Springsteen.
Cool. That's awesome. Now, and also, this may answer your question, too. What is one person, if you could sing with anybody, who would it be?
Bonnie Raitt.
Wow, really? That's interesting. Yeah.
I just think she's the essence of cool. That's what I want to sing with.
She's definitely cool. Now, Kip, do you have any hidden talent?
I can eat a box of Krispy Kreme donuts in about 60 seconds.
Wow. So you have a sweet tooth.
I got a big sweet tooth.
If you weren't a singer, what would you be doing?
Selling surfboards somewhere on the coast.
Okay. So when you lived in Hawaii, you did a lot of surfing and lived that whole
Every
beach
day.
life? That's
Every
awesome.
day.
That's awesome. And what is your favorite food on the road?
Oh, gosh. Favorite food would have to be steak whenever I can get my hands on it.
So a good old steak. All righty. And when you're not on tour, what do you like to do for fun?
Rock climb.
So you seem like a good old Southern boy that likes to be outdoors. And
I do.
Well, Kip, it has been an absolute honor to have you on my show. I know my listeners are so excited, and good luck with everything. You have such a huge career, I think, looking forward, and we're all going to be sure to go out and get your album, Up All Night. It comes out next Tuesday, April 24th. It's going to be, I'm sure, here in Walmart. You can get it on iTunes, get it anywhere.
Yeah.